Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Young here and welcome to a Metal Gear Solid 5 news update. As some of you may know, Tokyo Game Show begins in just a few hours, with Metal Gear Solid 5 confirmed to make an appearance. What you may not know is that two separate demos of Metal Gear Solid 5 will be presented in 2 different days. The first demo will be presented in Sony's PlayStation booth on September 19th at 1 p.m. Japanese time, or 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This demo will be the same Ground Zeroes demo presented to the press during the Kojima Productions LA event, but this time running on next-generation hardware. The second demo will be presented on September 21st at 3:30 p.m. Japanese time, or 2:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The second demo will take place during the daytime. It's still unknown whether this means it'll be the same Ground Zeroes demo being played in broad daylight, or if it's an entirely new mission. But Kojima has openly stated that Ground Zeroes takes place at night without the day and night cycle system from the Phantom Pain, since the former is meant as a prologue to introduce both the story and mechanics of the latter. Therefore, it might be safe to assume that the second demo will show off a bit of the Phantom Pain portion of the game in broad daylight, perhaps the same portion we saw on the E3 trailer. Apart from giving us a schedule for TGS, Kojima Productions also showed off the Kojima Productions LA demo to the European press recently, and the press has shared little tidbits of new information. I talked in my previous video about Snake's ability to hold an enemy at knife point, and how this leads into the appearance of button prompts that give players 3 options: knock out, kill, or interrogate. What I did not know was that as enemies are being held at knife point, and as players are prompted with these 3 options, time actually slows down a bit. I'm gonna guess that this feature was included for the same reason as the post-detection bullet time feature. The game is open world, which requires giving Snake and players certain abilities that will balance out the smarter, more abundant, and more randomly placed enemies in these sandboxes. But for those who would rather play without these newfound skills, I personally would not be surprised if the game released with difficulty options that strip away these bullet time-like features. The European press also talked about the franchise's classic codec. Thus far, everything seems to point to codec conversations happening live throughout the entire game, meaning no separate codec screen like in past games. Don't take any of this as confirmation quite yet, but everything from the HUD-less interface to Snake's new live map seem to indicate that paused menus are a thing of the past. I mean, so far, any sort of menu or interface appear without pausing the game, so I can't imagine the codec being any different. During the European presentation, it was also stated that throughout Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain, enemies will speak in different languages depending on the location of the mission. In past games, other languages would simply be represented by 2 characters speaking in English, giving the audience an effect very similar to what the TARDIS does in Doctor Who. Other times, characters would just speak in English but with an accent. It looks like that will all change in this upcoming game. Finally, one European site noted that the game will feature numerous side missions, sometimes with wacky goals, and further strengthening the game's lasting appeal is customization. It was confirmed that players would have the ability to customize their base of operations, likely Diamond Dogs, along with things like land and air vehicles. In short, looks like the base management feature from Peace Walker will make a return, and it will likely be vastly expanded for this upcoming game. It's good to know that Kojima is working on not only making the open world big, but also dense. Before I take my leave, one more fact I would like to point out is that it's been recently confirmed that Harry Gregson Williams will return as a composer and work alongside Ludwig Forsell. For those who don't know, Harry composed scores for Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, and Metal Gear Solid 4, which means you can expect some epic soundtracks in this upcoming game, as if the ones we've listened to thus far weren't epic enough. And with that, I would like to conclude this news update for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to be updated on everything that comes out of Tokyo Game Show in regards to Metal Gear Solid 5. Be sure to join the nation and subscribe to Young Gear. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much, and Young out!